Title: My Ex Cheated. So I started dating her sister. Now she's the one crying. Chapter 1. The perfect life I almost married into. They say you never really know someone until they break your heart. Well, I thought I knew Lena. We were together for 3 solid years. We lived together, shared bills, talked about marriage. I even went ring shopping twice. I was 28 and ready to settle down. She was 27, full of life, and always chasing the next big thrill. Maybe that should have been my first clue. 6 months ago, my entire world shattered. I came home from work and found her laughing on the phone. Didn't think anything of it until I saw the name flash across her screen. It was her coworker, the same guy she claimed was just annoying. I didn't snoop, didn't have to. When I asked, she didn't even flinch, just shrugged and said, I felt stuck. I needed something exciting. Exciting. That's what our relationship boiled down to for her. A boring routine. A cage. I moved out the next day, packed my things, and went no contact. I thought I'd never recover. I couldn't even sleep in silence without hearing her laugh in my head. Funny thing is, the one person who checked on me wasn't one of my friends. It was Kayla, Lena's younger sister. She messaged me out of the blue. Hey, I heard. I'm really sorry. You didn't deserve that. And just like that, we started talking. At first, I thought she was just being kind, checking in, but there was something different about her. Something honest. She wasn't like Lena. She actually listened. She was funny, kind, and had this low-key sarcasm that could knock the wind out of me, in a good way. And the more we talked, the more I caught myself looking forward to her messages, her calls, her laugh. I kept telling myself, this is just friendly, but if I'm being real, the feelings hit fast. And they hit hard. Still, I fought it. We both did. It was too complicated, too messy. But what happens when the one person who gets your pain is also the only one making you feel alive again? Well, that's when things started to get real. Real messy. Chapter 2. Lines we shouldn't have crossed. When you've been betrayed by someone you loved, there's a certain numbness that sets in. You stop trusting yourself, your instincts, your choices, even your memories. But talking to Kayla, that somehow felt safe. We started meeting for coffee. At first it was public, casual. Just 2 people with shared history. Try and make sense of it all. She'd roll her eyes when talking about Lena's drama, and I'd laugh harder than I had in months. Then one night, we lingered longer than usual at this quiet little diner. It was raining. Cliché, I know, but as we sat in my car, she turned to me and said, You didn't deserve what happened to you, and I hate that my sister hurt someone like you. I looked at her, really looked at her, and it hit me like a punch to the chest. She wasn't just Lena's sister anymore. She was Kayla, a woman who saw me for who I was, even when I couldn't. I kissed her. I shouldn't have, but I did, and the way she kissed me back told me she'd been waiting just as long. That night changed everything. We didn't jump into a relationship right away. We both knew the consequences. We talked, really talked, about what this could mean for her family, for us, and somehow, the more we hesitated, the more undeniable it became. 3 months ago, we made it official. I didn't post anything. She didn't either. We were trying to be respectful, if that's even possible in a situation like this. But happiness has a way of spilling out. We were smiling more, meeting up more often. People noticed. And then last week, Lena found out. I don't know who told her. Doesn't matter. What matters is the firestorm that followed. She called me in the middle of the night, screaming. Called me a traitor, a pig, a disgusting excuse for a man. Kayla, she got it worse. You're dead to me, Lena texted her. Just like that. It wasn't about us anymore. It was about war. And we were already in the trenches. Chapter 3. The fallout nobody warned us about. I thought the worst part would be the breakup. Or maybe the guilt. But no, this was the worst part. The silence after Lena's explosion wasn't peaceful. It was calculated, weaponized, and it spread like wildfire through her family. One by one, the messages started pouring in. Her cousin unfollowed me. Her aunt, who once told me I was the best thing to ever happen to Lena, messaged me. You should be ashamed of yourself. Even a few of my friends chimed in, saying I was asking for trouble. But it wasn't about shame. It was about revenge. Apparently, Lena had already painted her version of the story. How I preyed on her sister. How I planned this all along to humiliate her. Classic Lena. Rewrite the script so she's the wounded heroine. Meanwhile, Kayla was getting ripped apart from every direction. Her mom stopped calling. Her sister blocked her. Her friends, most of whom were Lena's friends first, distanced themselves one by one. And through all of it, Kayla didn't flinch. I knew this would happen, she told me, her voice quiet but firm. I just didn't expect it to hurt this much. I tried to comfort her, but I could see it in her eyes. She was breaking. Not because she regretted being with me, but because she was starting to realize what this choice was going to cost her. I started asking myself the same question. What was the cost? I'd lost my peace. I was in love, yes, but surrounded by chaos. Holidays? Forget it. Mutual friends? Gone. Even her dad, who had always liked me, sent a vague, disappointed text that said more than any angry rant could. And yet every night, when she laid her head on my chest and whispered, "I don't care what they say, I'm happy," I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. But in the back of my mind, I couldn't ignore the growing whisper. Was this love or just war? Chapter 4, Cracks in the Calm. For a little while, we pretended everything was okay. We stopped reading messages. We skipped awkward family dinners. We avoided mutual friends. It was just us, me and Kayla, against the world. And for a brief moment, it almost worked. We had lazy Sundays, inside jokes, long walks that made the noise fade. But like any storm, silence doesn't mean it's over. It just means the next wave is coming. And it came crashing in the moment Kayla's mom called. She hadn't spoken to her in weeks. Then out of the blue, she left a voicemail. "If you want to be part of this family again, you know what you have to do." The message was clear. Choose. Kayla sat on the kitchen floor, phone in hand, frozen. Her eyes didn't tear up, but I saw her jaw clench like she was trying to keep the pain from spilling out. "I don't want to lose them," she whispered. Neither of us said it out loud, but the implication hung heavy. Was I worth it? Later that night, we argued, not about her family, about dishes, about takeout, about anything but the real thing. "I'm tired," she snapped. "I'm trying so hard and nothing is enough." She wasn't talking about takeout. We both knew it. I told her I loved her. I told her I didn't regret anything. She said she loved me too, but her voice cracked when she said it, not from dishonesty, but from pressure, from grief, from everything she'd lost just to be with me. I stayed quiet for a long time after she fell asleep, staring at the ceiling, wondering if I'd pulled her into a war she never should have had to fight. I had finally found someone who made me feel whole again, but what if being with me was slowly tearing her apart? And then her phone buzzed. A single name lit up the screen. Lena. Chapter 5, The Line We Can't Uncross. That message from Lena changed everything. Kayla didn't open it, not right away, but the way she stared at the screen told me she didn't need to. She already knew what it would say. "I need to see you," she finally read aloud. "Alone." She looked at me like she was waiting for permission, or maybe forgiveness. I gave her neither. "Do what you need to do," I said. "Just don't lie to me about it." So she went. I didn't ask what they talked about, but when she came back, something in her was dimmer, like someone had turned down the brightness in her eyes. "She's broken," she said, "and furious, but also hurt, not just because of what I did, but because you were the one thing she thought she could always keep." I laughed bitterly. "Keep? Like property?" "No," Kayla whispered. "Like a backup plan." That hit harder than I expected, because part of me always wondered, if Lena had begged, cried, apologized, would I have taken her back? Kayla saw the answer in my silence. That night, we didn't sleep beside each other, not out of anger, but because we both needed space to breathe, to think. The next morning, Kayla sat across from me at the kitchen table. No makeup, no filters, just the raw version of the woman I'd fallen for. "I love you," she said, "but I need to figure out who I am, without being her sister, without being your rebound. Just me." I didn't stop her. I couldn't, because for the first time since this whole mess began, I realized this wasn't about revenge anymore, or even healing. It was about identity, about consequences, about two people caught in the wake of someone else's destruction and trying to build something real from the rubble. We didn't officially break up that day, but we knew. Sometimes, love born out of chaos doesn't survive peace. So now, months later, here I am, single, at peace, and no longer angry. I don't talk to Lena. I haven't heard from Kayla in weeks, but I'll always be grateful, because through the wreckage, I learned something far more valuable than payback. I learned how to let go,